What's up guys and dolls, my name's LeakyTapsMan, aka Mr. 2011 feels like just yesterday. Got my 9th this week in gaming, and since it has been a slow week, a very slow week, incredibly slow, I am going to put my subscriber giveaway entry onto this video. I was going to do a separate one, but I thought, seeing as there's very little in the way of news this week, I thought I may as well just latch it onto this video to give it some validity. Okay, well, news-wise, Final Fantasy 15 has been rumoured. Apparently it's going to make an appearance at E3 at 2012, so around May time I believe E3 is. Apparently it's going to be coming out for 360, PS3 and the Wii U, and it is rumoured to be more action oriented than previous games. I think a new Final Fantasy on current gen consoles seems a bit surprising for me. I thought they'd wait for the next one. But Square Enix have said that they would like to release Final Fantasies, the main versions, much quicker than what they have been doing. They said the development cycle's too big, so I guess it's not that surprising in that respect if they're sticking to their word. Good to see it on the Wii U. I'm always up for supporting Nintendo, so keep an eye on this one. That could be an interesting rumour for sure. Okay, another game being rumoured is Epic Mickey 2. So for those of you unaware, Epic Mickey was basically a platformer featuring Mickey Mouse. It was on the Wii. It got pretty good reviews, but obviously being a Wii exclusive, it doesn't generate that much buzz amongst the general community because, not that the Wii's redundant, but very few people have it as their primary games console. But apparently the second one is going to come out on the PS3 and the 360 as well. No word on a Wii U release, but I assume it will if it's coming out late 2012, which is what they gave a release window as. And apparently it's going to have co-op as well, so a couple of little interesting points. So that'll definitely be on my radar, as I'm a big platformer fan. Okay, the Nintendo conference that I referred to last week, where they're going to release some info. It wasn't a great deal of information, but some relatively interesting stuff. They released some information on Kid Icarus, mainly about the online mode and stuff like that. Nothing too interesting, but also they announced that they're doing paid downloadable content for the 3DS, the first game being Fire Emblem, I believe. And they're also bringing out demos for the 3DS that you can download on their marketplace, so that's cool. They're finally catching up with Sony in that regard, because they've had demos for the PSP for ages, and I don't know why Nintendo never did it, but better late than never, eh? Speaking of Sony, the PlayStation Vita is absolutely bombing. Well, bombing's probably a harsh word, but the sales figures are nowhere near what they would have wanted. This week, it's only sold 72,000, bringing the total sales to 400,000. In that same time period, the 3DS has outsold it. Even in this week, the PlayStation Portable has outsold it, so the predecessor has outsold it, which is kind of embarrassing on Sony's part. I'm sure the sales will improve once they bring out more decent games, but the Vita's launch lineup was already pretty good, so they've got a lot of work to do if they're going to save it. But we saw a similar situation with the 3DS where it launched and it wasn't getting the figures that they wanted, and they turned it around by bringing the price down quite a significant amount and shifting some quality titles for it, and now we're seeing the 3DS getting some really amazing sales figures, so it's not too late for Sony, definitely. They're not out of this race by a long shot. And finally, Bastion, my favourite game ever. I just feel like I keep mentioning it, or it keeps coming up in my videos, but anyway, the developers have just announced that they've sold 500,000 units, and I didn't realise, but their development team is made up of 7 people, which is absolutely insane for a game that's as good as Bastion. Like the production values of the game itself, it's astounding that that was created by such a small team, but well done to you guys. Bastion's incredible. If you haven't tried it, try it. I can't recommend the game enough. It really is superb. Alright, now on to my subscriber giveaway. Basically, if you haven't watched the original video, I promised that when I got 100 subscribers I would do a giveaway. Obviously I've reached that amount. Thanks very much for everyone's support. To enter the competition, basically just leave a comment. You don't have to like my video, I don't care about that, I'm not going to beg for that. Just leave a comment saying if you would prefer a Microsoft points card, it's 2100 points, or a Sony PlayStation Network £25 card, I think it is. But I'll get the equivalent for whatever your region is. I'll figure it all out later, but just say whether you want points for your Xbox, points for your PS3, or maybe even points for your Wii. PC gamers, I'm going to have to screw the pooch on this one. I might get something on Steam if you really want that, as long as it's kind of in that price range. But yeah, just leave your comment, say what you'd like, and I'll pick a winner at random. I'll find some way to randomise it so there's nothing fishy. I'll announce the winner next week, so you've got to be in it to win it. Just drop me a comment saying what you'd like. Right, thanks very much for listening. Thanks for all your continued support, and reach for the stars.